Hi, it's September 2019. I've been spending the summer just travelling around Europe, staying in Airbnb apartments, but this winter I'm planning to do a really big cycle ride, probably November, December time. So I thought I'd treat myself to a new camera, because the camera I used last year when I was walking through northern France, that was just an iPhone. But I've been noticing on YouTube a lot of people use the GoPros. So I've bought a GoPro 7, which I'm just playing around with now, and just experimenting with it. So at the moment I'm in the very picturesque city of Rouen in Normandy, northern France. So I'm just going to spend a day or two just wandering around, filming all the tourist attractions. So a very quick history lesson on Rouen. There's always been a settlement here for thousands of years. The Gauls, they had a tribe here just on the River Seine. And then the Romans came. They renamed it Rotomargus, I think. And then it became quite a major town. They had a thermal bath here and an amphitheatre. And then 841 AD, the Romans came. And the Romans established what now is today's modern Normandy, and they made Rouen their capital, and it remained a capital until William the Conqueror decided to move everything to Caen, and he built a huge castle there. I think what Rouen is probably best known for is the role it played during the 100 Years' War between England and France in the 15th century. So in 1419, Henry V conquered the Rouen and most of Normandy, and then in 1431, this is where Joan of Arc was burnt at the stake, which was one of the most infamous moments in the history of Normandy. So I'm going to go into the town centre now, have a look at Rouen. So at the moment I've got the camera resolution set to 1080 and 30 frames per second. So when I upload it, and if it looks okay, that will probably be the configuration I use for my cycle ride this winter. Just heading towards the old town now. But during the Second World War, Rouen was quite heavily damaged, but there's still a lot of medieval buildings here. So just approaching the old town now. So this is a very well known landmark in Rouen. This is Le Gros Horloge, which is the grand clock, or the great clock. So it was built in the 14th century, just above the clock. There's that big silver dome that's supposed to represent the moon phases, I think. And there's a sheep theme with this, because sheep and lambs, the wool trade was a very important part of Rouen's history. So there's the shepherd and the sheep. Just approaching the main square now. One distinguishing feature of Rouen are the half-timbered buildings, as this was a very quick and relatively cheap way to build houses. They just made a framework of oak beams, and then filled in the gaps with clay, straw, stones, whatever was available, and then they just put plaster over it. So this cross marks the spot where Joan of Arc was burnt at the stake in May 1431, and I think this rather unusual looking church is the Church of Joan of Arc. Just approaching l'église Saint-Maclou. This is a very nice quiet square to have a coffee. Some of the buildings here are really wonky. It's incredible how they're still standing up. It must have been quite skillful to get it like this. So there's another view of the church. The Cathedral of Rouen is just over there, so I'm going to have a look at that now. So this is the Cathedral Notre Dame, which I believe is 11th century. The main spire was replaced in the 19th century, and for 4 years this was actually the tallest building in the world. I can't really do much filming in the church with the GoPro because it makes a really annoying beeping noise every time I turn it on and off, so I'd better leave before they tell me to leave. So I've just googled how to turn off the beep on a GoPro, and it is quite easy actually. In fact, the GoPro is very user friendly. That's one of the things I like about it, and it's very good, for instance, for transferring video to an iPad or an iPhone. You just download the app onto your iPad and then just sync them up, and that's it. The video is onto the iPad, so I'll find that very useful this winter. So there's a place just here where Monet, the famous artist, used to paint the cathedral. He painted it 2 or 3 times, I think, so I'm just going to look for that now. So this is where Monet painted one of his paintings of the cathedral. There's a pretty little square or place nearby with a statue of Monet. I guess that's where he used to live when he was painting the town. So I'm just going to go for a wander over there now. So here's Monet's statue in the very pretty Place Saint-Amand. There's a couple of very nice green spaces in the town centre, so I'm just going to go for a wander over to there now. I think this is called the Square Verdret. And nearby there's another little park next to the very impressive Hotel de Ville. I think it's called Le Jardin de la Hotel de Ville. Just going over there now. So here I am in the very quiet, pleasant park, and this is the Abbey of Saint-Ouen de Rouen. Well, I think I'm getting used to my GoPro. I do like it, they're very easy to use, but they seem to be a bit heavy on the battery, so I think for long distance travel I'll have to bring a spare one with me. But apart from that, I look forward to using it on my video this winter. So thank you for watching my video of Rouen, and see you later. Bye.